the class. Yes, it is time to start the class.
Mister, yo le volví a dar.
Let's pay attention and then we will talk about that, right? Please, the people who is with the camera off, we will start right now. Gabriela, the same people, same people. Andrea, Montserrat, Gabriela, Sebastián, Christian. Come on, you know the rules, guys. So let's start then with the class, right? And can someone tell me what we're talking about? What we start talking this week? About what? What about? We start talking about adverbs, right? And what are adverbs?
How?
What are adverbs, guys? ¿Para qué nosotros utilizamos los adverbs? To describe what?
Describe the verb.
Describe the verb. Yes, of course. And also, we have three important characteristics, right, that we were studying yesterday. And these characteristics are, tell me, which are these characteristics?
How, when, and where.
How, when, and where. And when we are going to use how to describe what?
What, mister?
A type of a thing, for example.
Yes, of course. And how we are going to use when?
To
In
describe
time.
To
To
describe
describe
time, right? The expression of time. And where? What
To
happened?
describe a
a
place.
place.
Yes, of course. So, now I have a question for you. Yes, I have a question for you. And I want you to tell me, how often do you study? How often do you study, guys?
What, mister?
How often do you study? How often
What
do you
thing?
study?
What thing?
No, do you study anything?
Oh, what thing?
Listen, guys, how often do you study?
But for what?
Do you study every day?
Yes. You say for all the classes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now, how often do you practice sports?
With this quarantine, I don't know, but
Todos los domingos
But you have to speak in
me dan
English.
me,
some days.
A
Me dan clases los domingos.
me almost all days.
Diego Samuel. Diego Samuel,
¿Sí?
first of all, you have to speak in English.
Ok.
Yes. And secondly, you have to raise your hand, right, if you want to participate. Yes. So now another question. How often do you, let's see whether, how often do you eat pizza? In this time of coronavirus, how often do you eat pizza?
I don't eat.
1 month later. 5 months later.
I don't eat.
You don't eat pizza?
We pizza just one time.
What
Only
about,
like in the birthdays.
what about Chinese food? How often do you eat Chinese food in this time of
I
coronavirus?
never eat. I never eat.
You
I
never
eat just 2 times.
Okay. Now, listen to me. How often do you practice in imagine learning?
I practiced all the days, mister.
All the days.
Yesterday I practiced. Yes, mister.
In imagine learning platform?
and Thursday.
Yes, mister.
Okay, I really like that.
Only days, mister.
Okay, so how often do you use your cell phone?
I don't
all
have
time.
cell phone,
All
mister.
time.
I
All
don't have
time.
cell phone,
You
mister.
don't have cell phone?
No.
All time.
I have. I have.
Okay,
Me
so
too.
now do you have an idea about this question, or do you have an idea about what we're gonna talk today?
About
It's a
often,
topic.
because you was doing question with how often you
Yes, good job.
something.
Which is the topic, Miguel?
How often?
How
How
often?
often?
How often? And how do we call this kind of word? The words that we
Adverb.
have always, sometimes, hardly ever, never, usually. How do we call these words?
Adverbs.
Adverb of
Frequency.
what?
Adverbs of frequency and
Yes,
intensity.
yes, of course. And also we call them as frequency, frequency adverbs, right? And you see, we will continue talking about adverbs, right? Wait. And what is a frequency adverbs, guys? An adverb. Wait. Here we have. What is a frequency adverb? Who wants to read what is a frequency adverb? Or adverb of frequency? Who wants to read?
Me.
Okay,
Me?
read, Glenis. Until the first dot, please.
Okay. An adverb of frequency tells how often something happens. An
Okay,
adverb of
so stop there
okay.
until the first dot, I said. So when we're talking about adverb of frequency, they are describing, they are telling us, right, how often something happens. That's why I was telling you, or I was asking to you, how often, right? That in Spanish, it would be like, how do we traduce this in Spanish, guys? How often? How would you put? Ajá, cada cuánto, yes, of course. So, and then here we have some, I'm gonna show you some verbs later on in the next slide, but I'm gonna mention that for adverb of frequency, we use always, yes, usually, sometimes. What else? Tell me what else? Never, right? That is the number of times that something happened, right?
Yes.
Yes or no, or not?
Yes.
Okay, and then what happened then? What is an adverb of intensity, Andrea Larissa? Could you please read this information for us?
An adverb of intensity give information about how much.
How much, right? Do you see the difference? How often and how much? Do you think that we're talking about the same thing?
No.
No, which is the difference? Which is the difference, guys?
How much is of numbers.
How often it is? Well, I just telling you how often.
Cada cuánto.
How
How much?
much it is? What do you think is how much?
Um,
Like for example,
I don't know how
how
to
much
explain
do
it.
you like something, right? Or how much do you perform the action? Yes. ¿Cuánto ustedes hacen la acción o cuánto les gusta algo? Right? So, and then here we have adverb of intensity can describe a verb, an adjective, and another adverb. Yes? So let's continue. Here is what we're talking about, right? Here we have some examples of adverb of what? Of what, guys? Guys, are you paying attention to me?
Frequency.
Come on, you pay attention to me. It looks like if you are in another thing, right? You know that I write some notes, right? Probably you saw it yesterday, the notes that I wrote. So today won't be different, right? Okay. So here we have adverb of frequency, and it is how often do you do something, right? So when you do something every day, the whole time, you will say
Always.
always, right? That is something that you do every single day. Like for example, it could be take a shower, right? What else? Brush your teeth. Yes, that is something that
Go
you
to
do every
classes.
day, right? Go to sleep as well, right? Because every day people go to sleep.
Take classes.
Yes, of course. And then, what happened then? When you do a
Usually.
90% of an activity?
Usually.
Usual, right?
They usually
So,
quarter.
which example can we say about usually? About you, the activities you do. About the
Usually,
activities you do.
I read. Usually, I read.
Okay, probably we read. We usually read, right? Because we are in classes, right? And we have to read.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, good job. And what about an 80%? How do we call this?
Always.
Normally. Normally, right? So now tell me an activity that you do normally.
Normally, I read books.
Yes, good job.
Normally, I
I do.
I go to the park.
Yes, good job. I normally go to the gym. It says in the activity, right? Or I normally do exercises, right? Now we have in 70% we have
Sometimes.
often,
Often.
right? Often. Then they often go out for dinner, right? Now tell me you an activity that you do in 70%.
Sometimes it's on the middle. It's of
Yes, but
50%.
we're talking about now often. Now tell me an activity that you do often, guys.
I often go to the dentist.
Yes, good job. Excellent. Now,
I often, I don't know.
you don't know. Come on, continue.
I often go to the street.
Yes, of course. So now we arrive to the middle of this portion, right? And then we have in the 50% we have
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
sometimes. That is
Times.
something that you do, but not every day. Yes, that you do it like algunas veces, right? Yes, and then I sometimes go with my husband, right? Now, tell me you an activity that you
Sometimes,
do sometimes.
sometimes I go to pasear my dogs.
Yes, you sometimes
I
go
sometimes go to
to
the
walk your dog. Yeah.
cinema. I
Okay,
go
so and then we
sometimes
have
to the... Mister, how do
occasionally,
you say
right?
cine?
That is in a 30%.
Mister, how do you say cine?
Casualty.
Theater, movie theater.
Movie. I sometimes see a movie either.
Go to the movie theater. Movie theater is the place. The movie is
Yes.
the thing. Okay, so and then we have a 30% that is occasionally, right? That's an example that you told me that about Chinese food, about pizza, to eat pizza, right?
Yes.
Because I guess that Glini said that she only eat pizza in the birthdays. Yes. So, and not everybody in your houses, right? Every day is a birthday, right? So that's why we use occasionally, right? And then we have seldom. That is something that you do, but
I have pizza in my house.
yes, like for example, I
I
seldom read the
seldom
newspaper.
see movies.
And then we have hardly ever. That is rara vez, right?
Yes.
That's the expression that we were gonna use, right? Hardly ever. Like for example, I hardly ever watch television because I don't like to see television to watch television.
I hardly
Yes.
What
ever.
about you? Do you like to
I
watch
hardly
television, guys?
ever. I hardly ever. Mm,
Do you like to watch television?
Yes.
so. No
I
much.
don't like to watch television, and that's why I hardly ever do this activity, unless I found right a match of soccer, right? Now, when we have 0%, so it means that we don't do the
Never.
activity,
Never,
right? So we
Never.
are gonna use
never, never.
Never.
never. Yes, never. So are you clear with the adverb of frequency?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very
Yes.
easy.
Now we will continue with the intensity, right? And what
Mister,
can we say about the intensity?
in the topic is a square black.
And how about intensity? They are adverbs that modify adjectives and other adverbs, right? They
Yes.
normally go before the adjective or adverb which they modify, right? Do you remember at the beginning of the class that we were discussing about how often and how much, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So
Yes.
now we are talking about how much. And I'm gonna ask to all the people to turn on the camera, please. Carlos, Leticia. Okay, better. Now it's better. Mhm. There was a person that was called Fiorella. Who is that person?
I think it is Hillary.
Hillary? But I know it is Kenneth. Probably is your mother, right? Your mother name,
Or
Fiorella
your
is the
sister.
sister of
no, it's the sister.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so let's continue then. So, and we are gonna use these adverbs in order to say how much, right? Like for example, extremely, completely, totally, right? Really, very. Like for example, I like that food very much, right? And then we have rather, pretty, quiet, fairly, silently, a bit, and not at all, right? What do you think when we say not at all?
It's like
That we don't
almost
like something, right? Or we don't do
yes.
nothing at all, right? So now, are you clear with this adverbs, guys?
Yes.
Okay, now we're
Yes.
gonna work in the book, right? We're gonna work in page 236. 236, right?
I am already there, mister.
236, right? And I'm gonna ask to Diego Amador to help me read what we have there in the square.
Mister, wait.
Hurry up.
What page it is?
236. 236.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. An adverb of frequency. Tell how often something happens.
Continue. Finish
An
reading.
adverb of insignia give information about so much. Adverb of thinking can describe a verb, an adverb, or another adverb.
Okay. So, and then here we have the examples, right? Of frequency. Could you please, Risa, read the example of about frequency? The example that we have there.
I often forget to bring my lunch to school.
Okay, and which is the adverb there? Which is the adverb of frequency in that sentence?
Often.
Often, right? Now, Angeles, help me to read the second example we have of intensity.
I am almost finished with the invention.
Yes, of course. The idea is to strange, right? So, and then we have two adverbs, right? We have almost and we have to. That is telling us how much, right? Now, what we are gonna do in this activity, right? We have to underline the adverb in the sentence, and then in the line you are gonna write if the adverb it is telling us how much or how often.
Can I read the first, mister?
Number one, okay, read the number one, Angela, sorry. I always confuse your name, I don't know why.
Um, One. Kate could very believe she had won the science prize.
Okay, so Kate could barely believe he had won the science prize. Which is the adverb in this sentence?
Barely.
Barely, right?
Barely.
And the adverb is describing what? How much or how often?
How often?
Often?
How much? How
How
much?
much? How much? Yes, of course. So you are gonna underline, right? Barely, and then you will write how much at the end of the page.
At the end of the page.
Yes. Sorry, at the end of the statement. I really like that you are in classes. Okay, number two. Gabriel Valladares.
Alias. Jeje.
Gabriel Valladares. Number two, Gabriel. Read number two.
Se quedó trabado o soy yo.
Gabriel Valladares.
Gabriel está silenciado.
No. Now, you can talk now. Read number two, Gabriel. Gabriel. Okay, she left. Okay, so Gabriela, help me.
La faz de la tierra.
She had never achieved such as honor before.
Okay. She had never,
Never.
never,
Any
right?
Never.
Never. And it is how much or
How
how
often?
often.
often.
How often, right? Now, number three, right? Number three. Help me, please, Monse.
Number 3.
Yes.
She thought about how sometimes hard work paid off.
Sometimes.
Which is the adverb?
How often?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. It is how
How
often.
often?
Yes, of course. Number 4. Number 4. Who is number 4? Let's listen to Diego Amador because he wants to participate. Okay, Diego Amador.
She has thought about give up on her invitation at one point.
So, which is the adverb?
The other is
Invasion.
Which one?
invention.
Which one, guys?
Invention.
Second.
Just.
Just. Good job. Excellent. And
Is how
it
much?
is how much or
How
how
much?
or how often?
How much?
How much?
How
How
much?
much?
Yes, of course. Just. Number 5. Who wanna read number 5?
I want Mr.
Okay, let's listen to Diego Samuel.
Mister, I'm sorry. I was in my computer, but the audio of my computer is not working.
Okay, no worries. You will read the last one. Number 7. Number 8, sorry.
Diego.
Diego.
Escucha. He was complete out of new ideas.
She was completely out of new ideas. So that is what?
Completely.
Completely, right? And it is how much or how often?
How much?
How much?
How much? How much?
Yes, of course. Number 6. Leticia. Number 6, Leticia. Leticia. Number 6, please.
Number 6. He
Yes.
learned out his window and looked for that thing to return anywhere.
No, we're talking. Which page are you, Leticia?
If
Leticia? Which Leticia? Which page are you, Leticia? Which page?
Mr. I suppose it is in the page 237.
37?
36.
We're talking in page 36, Leticia. 236. Okay, Kenneth, read number 6.
Adam was very encouraged through.
Adam was very encouraging. So,
Encouraging.
which is the adverb?
Very.
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 Yes. And it is how much or how often?
How much?
How much? Yes.
How much?
Number 7. Let's listen now to Sebastian. Number 7, Sebastian.
He wanted her to win the prize almost as much as she wanted to win it.
Okay, she wanted her to win the prize as almost as much as she wanted to win it. So, which is the adverb?
Much. Much.
Are you sure about it?
Much.
No,
Almost.
not the adverb.
It is
Almost. That's the adverb. Yes.
How much?
And then, yes, it is how much. Gabriel will read the last one.
Katie will always remember what a good friend he was to her.
Okay.
Always.
always.
Always. Yes.
Always.
And then it is
How much?
How much?
how much. How much, guys? Always.
Mister, how often?
How often? Good job, Angela. Good job. Excellent, Angela. Okay, guys. Are you ready? Did you finish? Did you finish all the sentences?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Mister.
we will, yes, good job. Good job. So we will stop here in grammar class, but we have spelling right now. Yes. But this meeting is gonna over right now because we have just 2 more minutes. So I will see you all again here in a minute.
Bye.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.